Hello, everyone. Boone here. Welcome back to Boone Builds for another episode of AFOL Spotlight Live. Tonight, we are talking about Lego ideas. I've got a few incredible guests. I'm not sure why it's not showing trying to show how do I do this? This is great for the beginning of the stream. Add to stream. There we go. We're talking about Lego ideas. I've got some incredible guests tonight. First up is Holly. Holly brought us the Coraline Pink Palace Apartments. Holly, you hit 10,000 this year. How does it feel?
Woo! Yeah, it's pretty incredible. That was a lot of work getting there.
We'll talk a little bit more about Coraline in a bit. Thanks for coming tonight, Holly.
Yeah, of course. Anytime.
Next up, you may recognize him from Lego Masters, but before Lego Masters, he brought us the Golden Girls on Lego Ideas. It's Sam Hatmaker. How you doing, Sam?
Hey! Nice to be here.
Great to see you. I'm glad to have you both back. I acknowledge that there were a lot of incredible people who have had success on Lego Ideas, whether hitting the 10,000 or getting their sets produced. A lot of people that I could have had on tonight, but I'm only having people on tonight who have been on AFOL Spotlight Live before, because the people who haven't been on before, I want to give them a dedicated night to talk about their idea stuff, to talk about all of the projects that they do. We tossed around a lot of names before we landed on just deciding we're going to go with some of the familiar faces that you've seen here before tonight, and hopefully I'll be having some other ideas people on in the future. We are going to we've got one more guest. Oh, hey, here he comes. You know him as the creator of the Ship in a Bottle, and he's got another set coming up in ideas. Jake Sadovich. How you doing, Jake?
Good. How's it going, everybody?
Hey, Jake.
Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Holly.
Hi.
Well, we are going to dive into all things related to Lego Ideas. This is AFOL Spotlight Live.
Let's go! Time aboard this proverbial Winnebago. We're talking about the awesome fans of Lego. So build your mock and shift it into drive. It's time for AFOL Spotlight Live.
All right, that was the fastest I've ever come back from the intro. Quick draw McGraw there. So
Yay.
I am the newest of the four of us. I am the newest to the Lego Ideas Club. I haven't really achieved anything. But
no, you hit your first milestone. Maybe even the second one now.
What, 100? 100?
Yeah.
100 the first milestone?
Yeah.
Grab the second one by tonight, easy.
Yeah.
You think by tonight? All right, yeah. So the charade. The charade must be taken down, because the only reason I'm doing this tonight is to try to convince everyone to go to this page.
Yeah, we know.
And vote for the Magic School Bus.
We know.
But hopefully we can learn some stuff from all of us, and hopefully we can also give Jake's current project a little bit of love. I'll talk about this a little bit. If you're watching Boone Builds and you haven't seen anything about the Magic School Bus, you must have been living under a rock for the last 5 days. But I won't blame you for that, because rocks are cool and shady. This is my new Lego Ideas project, the Magic School Bus. I've been working on this and saying I have an Ideas project coming, and it is finally live. And what do you say? Can we hit 1,000 tonight? That's only 50 people. I'll stay on. You all can go to bed. I'll stay on until we hit 1,000. So if you're watching, go out, tell your friends, tell your moms, tell your dads, tell your nieces, tell your uncles. Go to the link in the description. It's the first link in the description of this video. You're going to have to create an account if you don't already have one at Lego Ideas. But I've done it in less than 3 minutes before, so it won't take long. Let's see if we can get it to 1,000 tonight. And I'll talk a little bit more about the Magic School Bus later. So, Holly, Jake, Sam, how y'all doing?
Good. Great.
All good, I guess, considering.
Yeah, how's the air where you are, Jake, Sam?
It's not great, but it's not as bad as what you guys have. We've
Yeah.
had
Okay.
smoke. We've had smoke in the air for like a month or more.
Yeah, wow.
It's cleared out a couple times and come back.
Yeah.
I could see a little bit of blue today. It was like a slightly more blue, and I was like, that's a tinge of blue. I love it. You know, so that felt really nice.
Yeah, cool. Well, I'm glad. I was not able to look directly at the sun today, which seemed like progress in the right direction.
We know
Lego-matic,
you did that before.
Chantel Builds, Jeff McElwee, Cody O, Cody, Aquamike TV, Gabe Collins, Remy Baker, Everything Brothers, Cass, Smoke Up Johnny, Chantel. We got some of our lovely regular viewers in the live chat tonight. I saw Brent Waller was on here earlier, and he's had a lot of success with Lego ideas. At least, and he'll be on in the future. Oh, hey, Brett Hooper. We got Brett Hooper is here with us tonight, and Moto. Thank you to all of my moderators who are here. So let's talk a little bit about, I'm just going to have each of you talk about, let's just do a brief kind of round robin. What has your experience with ideas been like? What did you submit? I'll show the pictures that I have. And then maybe after you just give us a little brief intro, we'll come back with some more in detail questions. Sound good?
Yeah.
Holly, what can you tell us?
You should start with Jake. Jake actually made it to the shelves.
All right.
Ladies,
We'll start
come on,
with Jake.
ladies first. Now, so I've submitted 3 things. The first was the ship in a bottle, of course, that I'm sure everyone knows about, and that got made into a set. So that has been fantastic, awesome, amazing. And then I submitted Leonardo da Vinci's Ornithopter. It didn't really go anywhere. And then currently I have up Murray Roadmaster pedal car. That's the short name. It's got a long name because there was a lot of different options. So when I was researching it to build it, that's why it has such a long name, because it's like the top model with the better grill package and more chrome and all that. So that's my third one, and it just passed 3,000 like yesterday. So it's doing all right.
Congratulations on 3,000.
Thanks.
When we talk later, I want to talk about importance of pictures and stuff like that in your marketing, because like this one right now, I love this set and I've supported it, but it's hard to tell the scale of it from these pictures.
Yeah,
it's really like getting that, because it's phenomenal. It's huge. It is like,
yeah,
it's so incredible, and it's hard to really get that to come across.
Maybe Jake.
Yeah,
like that.
There's only one picture there. Here's another. I can use a different minifigure real quick for scale.
Yeah, I think Jake must have learned from Ship in a Bottle that maybe size doesn't matter after all.
but it does, like, that is, it's so much more impressive when you see it like that. When you see that, you're like, wow, that is impressive. We've all seen little cars. We've never seen a car with pedals and
Hey.
and
So
Yeah, there it is.
our pal Nick Bluetooth for scale.
Yeah.
But Jake, for that to work for a scale reference, people have to have it.
Right.
That's right.
People have to have it to know how big it is. For reference.
Let
No,
me see if
do.
I've got
I know.
a regular. Okay, here we go.
Objects are larger than they appear online.
yeah.
That's what everyone said about my Bricklink fire engine. Everyone that bought it and built it was like, "Oh, it's bigger than I would have expected."
Yeah, exactly the same. Yep.
All right, Holly, what do you tell us?
Pull up the Coraline house, I guess. There you go. There was my my intro to ideas there, and kind of my intro to everything. This is really how I just like how and when I got involved in the AFOL community, big time.
And I remember the very first time we met, Holly, and we've talked about this on the stream before, but for anyone who hasn't been around, the very first time we met, we were both at Bricks and Minifigs, and you were digging for parts for your. Was it the very first one you built, or was it the copy?
I'm pretty sure it was the first one, and I believe it
Yeah.
was right before Bricks Cascade. I was like scrambling to finish it.
Yeah, that's right. It was like 2 weeks before Bricks Cascade, and I was starting something, and you were trying to finish something. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was a mad dash to get those parts and get it actually built. Because of course I designed it digitally first, and I spent actually a couple of years tinkering with the design of this thing, because when I first started messing around with it and had the idea in my head, it really wasn't specifically for ideas. I was aware of ideas and I had supported things on ideas, but it just wasn't my intent. I don't think it was really even my intent to finish it. It was just a project that I was using to test some of the digital tools with. I mean, it was something I wanted to build, but
Right.
I'm not good at finishing things, so I just didn't. I wasn't that ambitious with it. And then it wasn't until our 10-year anniversary for Coraline was creeping up that it kind of dawned on me that I was far enough along in the design process. I was like, you know what? I should probably like actually finish this and start putting it in front of people, because it was pretty clear at that point that we had a pretty big fan base, like more than I think I had realized. So yeah, that was all there was to it.
Awesome. Well, Shane gave us a $10 super sticker tonight. Thank you very much, Shane. Greatly appreciate that. We've spent some time with Shane over at the Tricky Bricks stream. If y'all don't know about Tricky Bricks, go check them out. YouTube.com/Tricky Bricks.
Tricky Lug, represent.
Tricky Lug is here tonight. Thank you very much, Shane. I gotta say hi to a couple of these people at T-Cat Town. Man, this is one of my old YouTube buddies. T-Cat Town runs an animation channel. He did a little bit of he did an animation of me with like a Lego tower. I think he's done some other things that have appeared here and there throughout the time. Anyway, T-Cat, great to have you in the house tonight. Ben Kahn is here. Thank you for being one of our lovely moderators, Ben. We've got a lot of other fun people in the live chat tonight. We will do a Q&A toward the end of this stream. So if you've got questions, hold on to those questions. We'll be answering them a little bit later on. Sam, what do you got to say about ideas?
Well, I had never used ideas, and I had really made very few of my own creations at that time, and I just decided I'd seen somebody make the 4 Golden Girls women, and I was like, I want to make the Golden Girls house. I want to do it. And so I just started working on it, and it took a few months of just playing and building and taking apart and building and trying to figure out angles, and I finally finished it, and I was just making it for myself, and my friends like, you should post that on Lego Ideas. So I posted it, and then I hate those gold jumpers. I redid that to match all the same color. And then my friend told me to post it. I posted it, and like 2 or 3 days later, it wasn't very long, and a friend goes, "You should post that to like Golden Girls fan sites." And I'm like, okay. So I posted it to like 3 or 4 of them one night before I went to bed, and the next morning it was chaos. It was like it was on Yahoo's main page, and it was on Huffington Post, and it was on like everywhere. I was getting phone calls from across the world, and Ellen DeGeneres posted it and it got 90,000 likes on her page. You know what I mean? Like, wow. It was like, what is happening? Like, I just built something that I thought was so stupid and campy for myself that who else is gonna want this? Like, it's so me, it's so gay, it's so like what I build, and it went viral, and so like it was very lucky. And this is one of the things right here. We were talking about pictures and how important they are. I did all these pictures that told a bunch of stories. Like, this is a certain episode where Burt Reynolds comes to visit. That's
a great Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, so that's Burt Reynolds, and he asks the girls which one's the slut, and they all raise their hands saying I am. And so I did all these different episodes from every season to really, if you were a fan, you really understood this, and it became I guess it's the highest. I think it's still the highest supported set because it happened so virally. After they get to 10,000, they usually turn it off so you can't vote anymore. But it was happening so fast that they just got right past 10,000, and so it'll be, it was a weird experience. I feel very blessed.
That is unusual. I think for anybody that hasn't been through the ideas process, that's
It's
kind
not
of
how it usually works.
that's not usually how it works.
I had an Avatar set on there around the same time, and it got like, 300 supporters, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that was a very complicated build. And
timing is everything, because the Golden Girls kind of blew up there for a minute, and you must have had it in just right at that time.
Well, what was really weird is that at the time, Golden Girls had never had any product on the shelves. They never had pop vinyl figures. They didn't have T-shirts and socks and all this stuff that's out there now. And so I think that was one of the things that killed it. So it didn't get selected to be a final set. And now, if it happened now, I kind of think there would be a better chance, because licensing for that show has now happened and it's become a thing.
And there's precedent now for the sitcoms.
Yeah.
Right?
Friends
for sure.
and Seinfeld, or not Seinfeld, but Friends and
Big Bang.
Big Bang Theory. I couldn't think of it. Yeah.
And they're going for more adult, audiences too. Whereas it's really funny how everything has shifted just in the last couple of years.
Yeah. Because they would have never did Stranger Things before, and now they're like, yeah, that's very adult. And I'm like, Golden Girls right here. Like, there's fans, I promise.
Yeah, it was the same thing with Coraline. When I first submitted Coraline in 2018, almost the immediate clapback was like, oh, Lego would never go for that because it's too close to the horror genre. And I was like, it's for children. It's a kids movie. Like, how scary it's going to be? And everybody just didn't think that was going to fit, Lego's thing. And then it was like, less than a year later that Stranger Things came out. I was like, there you go.
Yeah. Well, Spot the Magic Ninja has a Golden Girls mug. I'm just going to highlight a couple here. Nathan318 says, hi, I love y'all. Can you please say hi? Why not? Hi, Nathan. Hi. And Leah Chan, everyone's favorite Lego NASA builder, is here. Thanks for joining us tonight, Leah. All right, because tonight's primary purpose is getting people over to this screen to vote, I'm just going to refresh, and we'll have a little what did they? This is like a telethon. Everyone do a drum roll.
So 960, 965,
953. We got three in the last 10 minutes. All right.
You guys don't even know, like, this whole, like, when you're campaigning for ideas and you're going through this thing, it becomes an obsession, because it's trial and error.
Refresh that page.
Yeah, and so you want to show them that if you're logged in, you're not logged in, but I was going to show them that, like, statistics thing, because unless you have an ideas submission, you don't get to see the statistics. Mm-hmm. So that's a feature that they added a couple of years ago.
I can do that. Should we talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So you can.
I'm gonna pull over a new thing. This is me. Oh, I'm wondering why. Oh, hold on. Let me do this over here.
Yeah.
And I do not log in here as Officer Robotic Spinach. This is.
Oh, yeah. I want to know what your guys. We were just talking about this before we went live, like talking about our Lego Life IDs. So what's your guys' Lego Life IDs?
What's that?
It's like the 3-word.
The 3 weird random words that they made you choose. Hey, 954. Someone just went to vote.
Yay, someone.
Okay.
So let's see the statistics. So this is this is really interesting. So
it gets really interesting, because the thing is you have to try all these different things to promote this thing and to see what works. And so what you end up doing is, like, you'll say you do like a convention or something, after you've spent the whole weekend promoting your idea at a convention, then, like, on Monday you go back to check statistics and see how many votes you actually got, like, over the weekend, and if that was a success or not. And it was really interesting to kind of see, like, what made a difference and what didn't. And what I found was actually the conventions don't really help that much. Like, actually taking it to putting it on a public display doesn't really make a lot of difference, because people aren't voting, like, while they're at the convention. And you really need it to be a pretty, like, direct, like, link that they can click on to be able to quickly support it. And that doesn't happen when people are at the convention wandering around looking at stuff. So
you need a computer. You need a computer right in front of your build.
No. People have suggested that, but it's a terrible idea, because what happens is a lot of people don't have a Lego account, and they have to register, and the registration process is what really, like, hoses it.
Yeah.
I've watched people try to register to vote, and it takes them like at least like 5 minutes or more. They have to go through like multiple confirmation emails. It's a
Yeah.
painful process to have to register to vote.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of direct links, there is a direct link in the description of this video. You can go vote. Let's see if anyone else has voted. Hey, 9:55. Sounds good. So let's take a moment. You know, the thing I think is really interesting about this is I don't know how long does Lego Ideas think it has been September 17th or September? Oh, that's 8.
It'll make a
September
prediction.
18th.
Yeah, it should give you a prediction date as to when it thinks, based on your trajectory, when it thinks that it will arrive at 10,000.
Oh, when does it think that?
I think if you go all the way to the last dot on the top graph, total support over time. Does it give you a date there?
Maybe
No.
it's not. Maybe it's not ready for that.
Maybe not.
Yeah, right there. Put it on the gray dot.
Yes,
Right,
it's
you're right
gray
there.
one. Yep.
Oh, trend.
Yeah.
Thursday, September 1,000. Thursday, September 17th. So
So there you go.
it thinks I'm gonna reach 1,000 today.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it must give those. It gives those in increments.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Because I remember watching that 10,000 mark, wavering, and it was nerve wracking because I was cutting it kind of close to the end of that period, and it was saying whereas the period ended in May, it was saying I was going to reach it by April something, and I was like, oh, it's which it did. I think it did make it right about at that time it predicted.
Wow, unbelievable! Yeah. How many days did you end up having in the end?
Oh, I still had like a few weeks left, but still, that's still cutting it really close.
Yeah, well, sure.
Yeah.
When you don't have any control over it, you have no idea how it's going to go. There are 2 links in the description of this video, and the other link in the description is the 1950s Murray Torpedo Roadmaster pedal car. Let's see. We talked about this maybe 10 minutes ago. Should we see if there's any more supporters? 3,014.
See? Upset.
Hey, 3,000.
Sweet. All right.
I'm not gonna claim that it is the fault of the live stream here on Boone Builds, but it might
I'll claim that.
It might not be. Might not be not. Okay. Well, let's see. Should we talk a little bit about the ideas that have recently gone into review?
Yes.
Sure.
Have you seen them all, Sam?
I think so. It's a ridiculous amount, though. 35 sets, like ridiculous. If they choose 3, that's your chance. Like, oh, it's just so sad.
I know. Yeah, that's how I felt the last round, because Coraline's was in the record breaking 26, and that's kind of how I felt. I was like, oh, great. Well, now that it's like you worked that hard to get to the 10,000, all of a sudden now it still feels like there's a really slim chance.
Yeah, I mean, if they did it, like, even if they did half of them, it's still still a lot of people who get disappointed and who like got all that support for nothing. It's like, oh, damn.
Yeah. I know. There really should be, like, I know somebody had commented somewhere that they were saying that they wished Ideas would kind of like at Lego at random would go back and reconsider previous 10,000 supported.
Yeah, sure.
And I think they should, just because some of this stuff, it just depends on like what it's up against and the timing, and there's so many variables, or the licensing or whatever, that maybe it doesn't work this round, but it might be a huge hit, a year from now.
I they did that the one time.
Department just does more Lego ideas. Like it release 5 or 6 a year instead of like 2 or 3 they're doing now.
I don't know. It feels like they're doing more than 2 or 3 a year.
I guess now they are.
Yeah, seems like quite a lot.
How many reviews are there a year now? 2 or 4?
4.
Yeah.
That's a lot of sets.
Is it 4 or is it 3?
I think it's 3.
I think it's 3.
I think because it's 4 months, right? Each.
That's right. That's what it is.
Which is confusing because most things go by quarters.
Right.
And 4 months is a third of a year.
Yeah.
And they did do go back, as you were saying, go back and look at some of the ones that didn't make it. They did that one time, and it was for the 10-year anniversary.
Right,
So that's
right.
where the space station one came from.
That's right. Yeah, I just wish they would do that more often. But I don't know, man. There's just so much, right? Like the
There's
idea
so
thing
many.
is just so saturated now.
Well,
I
and I submitted mine last Thursday. I submitted mine a week ago, and I think it went live Saturday evening. And I went on just to look at the most recent entries, I think 2 days ago, and I was blown away at
Yeah.
how far I had to scroll to get to mine.
Yeah.
Because like 50 entries had been submitted each day since I entered.
Exactly.
Now, many of them are not going to get the support they need. A lot of them are great and could, but it's just, yeah, the quantity is just overwhelming. I do not envy the person whose job it is at Lego to screen them, because they all get screened.
I know a couple of those guys, and yeah, I feel bad for them. So what is your guys like? If it were up to you, would you have any suggestions on what do you think that they need to change anything? Should they change anything? Like, because obviously a lot of this is based on current events, right? A lot of people being
Right.
home and spending time building and spending time on the internet. That's obvious. This is obviously a product of that. So do you think they need to change anything? And if so, what would that be?
I'd say sit it out and wait. I don't think there's enough information to really go on to. You don't want to make like knee-jerk changes and then have it be kind of just changing and then changing other things again and again. You know, so you just wait it out.
Which is kind of what they've stated about it, right?
Yeah.
Like that's sort of what they said they didn't want to do is jump to make a huge change if this is really an anomaly. Really, what I'd like to see, and I don't know if this data exists anywhere, but I'd really like to see how many of these, in the 26 that reached 10,000 in your trimester and the 35 that reached the 10,000 this trimester, is how many of them are like 2 years old, and how many of them were up for a month or a week or a few days and got like crazy growth, in as fast as Sam's did, because some of it, I wonder, is it a combination of yes, more people are voting because they're stuck at home. Yes, more people are interested in buying because they've been stuck at home and they're more interested in Lego than they were a year or two ago. More people are submitting projects because they've been stuck at home and they have more time on their hands. I've been thinking about ideas for 4 years, and it took me this long to have one that I felt. I'll talk about that a little bit more later. And then how many of these are old enough? If some of these ideas were submitted 2 years ago, what's the longest you can be on? Was it 2.5 years? Or it's just over 2 years.
Just over 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just over 2 years. If some of these are 2 years old, are we really looking at, the, I guess, symptoms of ideas becoming more popular 2 years ago, plus all of the quarantine stuff? And those things together are making it crazy.
Yeah.
Or
I'd say yes, yes, and yes. And of course, the problem with some of the ideas that are like the overnight successes is they actually don't show that longevity that you need for ideas, because the problem is once your ideas project does reach the 10,000 and goes into, it takes so long for it to get made. So there's a couple of projects that hit that 10,000 rather quickly that have been submitted since lockdown, that I have a really hard time seeing those being successful in a year and a half from now. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
But how do you filter that? Like, how do you have what can you do about it?
Yeah. How do you know? And that's another thing. I do think that Lego Ideas could do something about sort of a quality standard for submissions, and they, you know, they do have some standards about like pictures. You know, you can't submit pictures that have a lot of distracting stuff in the background. But I don't know. I think that there could be some work done on the front end, and really, I guess the argument against that would be, if it's a good idea and people love it and want to support it, it doesn't, the quality of the fan design isn't as important. But I think if you look at those, what ideas were submitted today, what ideas were submitted in the last 3 days, I mean, you're going to see 70, 80, 90% of the projects just don't look like something that Lego will ever produce.
Yeah. And this is a conversation I've been having with people lately, because there's been a lot of discussion as maybe one solution is to redesign the website UI, which I'm 100%, 1000% agree with, that they do need to redesign it. But a lot of people are suggesting, it should just be random. Just randomize it so it's not the same things always on the homepage. And it's like, yeah, that would be problematic, because
you never find anything unless you're searching for it directly.
Exactly, you'd never find anything. It would look really sloppy, because there's I don't know quite what the percentage of ideas submissions are like. You know,
that's
you know what
sorry,
I mean.
I didn't cut you off. Yeah. So that's an interesting thing to note, and we will get to the list of the most recently. How do I get there? Jeez.
Well, there's a huge thing with license, like, because we don't have any transparency from Lego, which I don't expect them to do because they can't talk about that kind of business. But there's a huge thing between licensed and non-licensed too. Like the idea that like mine was a licensed thing, and I knew that going into it. But I almost think Lego Ideas, the ones that aren't licensed, are like always more amazing because they don't have any other marketing behind them. It's like, it impresses me that I'm like, a ship in a bottle got 10,000 votes, and like, what? And like the big piano set, like they didn't have anything helping them market wise. They didn't have a fan base, and it's like, those are just incredible to me. And I'm like, Lego Ideas. And like, how many times has Zelda set got through to 10,000 votes? But it's not going to happen, or it wouldn't have happened until maybe now because of the Nintendo license. But like these people,
but it's not going to come through Ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
They've already got the license.
Well, now it can't,
because they finally got the license through them, and they're the ones who did the development of this project. And people will say, "Oh, well, I designed one of those 3 years ago," but you design. Tons of people did. Tons of people did. Even when mine was on there, somebody else had built a Golden Girl set, and it just didn't get publicity like mine did. And so they're like, "Oh, this wasn't your original idea." I'm like, there are like 150 Batmobiles on there. Like, if it's a licensed thing, it's not an original idea no matter what. It's from something else.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
I've always wanted to do a Mary Poppins house, but now there is one on there already. So I'm like, okay, I'm not doing it now. I don't need to do all the work for that.
So there's I feel like we've touched on a lot of things that are interesting conversations to have, and I'm going to try to log them away in my head so that we can get back to some of them. We will talk about these 35 product ideas in the latest review, but I just want to quickly go back on what Holly was talking about sort of like, does this sort of home page need to be redesigned? It took me a little while to figure out what's going on here. And I think that it must be the ideas that have the greatest velocity of support right now. Is that what it is?
Yeah, the ones that are really getting a lot, like they're showing a high volume of
most popular.
Yeah, like the most recent supporters.
Okay, most recent supporters. So yesterday, for pretty much all day yesterday, and I think it probably resets every day because I've been watching this a little bit, but I was number 14 down below the Addams Family and Avatar. And I think actually Avatar and Addams Family might have been flip-flopped, but I was down here, and today Magic School Bus went up to the 12th spot on that page. So, and when I submitted, I had no idea how this page worked, and I didn't expect to be seen on this page. And I don't know how many people are scrolling down to number 12, probably very few, but I have seen 1 or 2 comments of people saying, "Hey, I saw this and voted for it."
So I'll tell you what my suggestion was to them, and there is actually an official suggestion. I'll send you the link when I find it.
Yeah.
It's something you can actually like vote on if you like the idea. When I find that, I'll send you the link. But so my suggestion basically to them was to make this more of like a Netflix style of navigation. So instead of having this endless like vertical scroll with a lot of sort of the same static images up at the top, I think it would be better if you had these like horizontal boxes. And maybe at the top, you have your, maybe contest because they want to highlight that. And right under that, they can have their staff picks as kind of their curated images. That's a good kind of first impression to the website. Then under that, you have maybe the most popular or the approaching 10,000 or something. Then under that, you could have expiring soon because those need some urgent attention. Underneath that, you could have random. So there's things that do pop up, randomly. So you get to kind of see a little bit of everything and it changes every day. And, kind of continue like with the stacked boxes that way where you can scroll horizontally instead of just this one vertical scroll. I think that would work a lot better for getting visibility to a lot of different types of things and giving users the ability to sort of look for what they like. May have another category for themes so they can look for cars, look for buildings, It just needs to be more visual. They've buried the navigation in here. That's why it's so hard to get around.
Yeah, I agree with this.
Okay, here is the blog article. So now what I've seen a lot in the last couple of days about people, well, I should say the last week, people giving their opinion on the entire list. I'm not really interested in doing that. Tricky Bricks did a great conversation on Sunday, and Holly, you were there for that.
I was in a really bad mood though, so.
Oh, were you?
Tearing everybody else's apart and keeping yours all built up.
I saw Ashen Flash did the exact same video. He was just giving his opinion on all 35. I saw Brick Queen posted a video like that talking about the 35s, which I thought Brick Queen left YouTube like 5 years ago or something. But anyway, I don't know anything about that. It just came across my feed. So what I'd rather do is ask you, and this will be a little bit dangerous because we're gonna start with. Well, okay, we'll start with what's one or two of these 35 that you don't get it or you don't think Lego would make it for X reason. Do you understand the question?
Yeah.
So we'll go with that, and I've got it over here, and hopefully I'll be able to get to it quickly.
A lot of scrolling, man.
It's fine.
Okay.
It would be really cool if I had a grid like this and I could
zoom in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I want to go to the bigger picture. So what do you think? Holly, do you have any that you don't think they're going to get made? Or are you bummed that you're always first? Should I go to Jake? We can go to the bottom of the screen and put Jake up.
Sam.
If you scroll through them, I can talk about them. Like,
I don't want to talk about all of them.
Some of them are just too big. Like I'm like, there's no way they're gonna make that one.
I hate it when people say that because then Lego could always decide to make it whatever scale they think is marketable. So I'd never think that scale is a reason not to vote for something.
Oh no, I always vote for him still, but I just don't think like this Exploratorium is gigantic. I just don't think it'll happen. You know what I mean? I just don't think that's gonna happen. Like Hocus Pocus House, it's a popular movie, but does anybody care about the house from that movie? Like I don't even recognize the house from that movie, and I've seen the movie over and over again. I think the Schitt's Creek one has a better chance because they've done so many sitcoms lately than the.
But you think they're gonna? You think they'll do Schitt's Creek?
No, I don't think they will. But I think it has a better. I think Community has Community and Schitt's Creek both have like that same kind of. They've done sets like that before, but the house.
Well, let's put it this way: between those two, they would definitely pick Community.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
It's less adult.
You want all children saying shits 12 times a day.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, Perry is here.
Hey.
Perry has been working hard. He hasn't been in our streams in a while, so we miss you, Perry. Welcome back.
I do miss you, Perry.
Did you see Melissa has given us a donation too?
Oh, Melissa, thank you so much. $99.99. I wish I had those gifts, that would do like
exactly like what? Like wow.
Thank you, Melissa. Melissa, you are consistently our top supporter here at the live stream on Boone Builds. Appreciate you being here. Thank you very much.
I
All
can
right.
see the Starry Night one fitting in with their new art line. I can see them going, yeah, let's do this. That's a cute idea. We can do Klimt next, so we can do all these different ones. I can see that happening. I always like the one we just passed. Like the anyone that's modular. I feel like they are. I feel like that's just they have tons of modular ideas there. They have tons of people who build that stuff. I doubt they're going to take an idea set for a modular set. It's just not. That's not how I picture them working this. That's not how it works. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's the whole modular line, so it's basically part of a line already.
Yeah,
and then there was like a pirate ship and a pirate thing, and they just came out with one that was both a pirate bay and a pirate ship. So
yeah, I don't see those becoming sets.
Yeah, where was the part? Okay, so this is like the Imperial ship. So it's like a
sweet
big.
looking
It is
ship.
like the Imperial ship, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So there's an Imperial ship. Here is like an Imperial castle and an Imperial little bay. And I think that of the three, if one of those was going to get made, shoot, what would they do? I almost think it would be. I think it would be this one because it's sort of like, to me, it has the feel of Barracuda Bay, but it's the Imperials. So
That's see, the thing with the ideas though is, and this is, let's go ahead and say this up front, that this is not to say that any of these builds are not great and wonderful and deserve, all the accolades. But as far as it being made into production, one thing that ideas does is it usually fills some sort of gap, right?
Yeah.
So it's either, something they haven't made before, or it appeals to a very specific demographic that Lego has not necessarily appealed to before. And one thing they don't really tend to do, correct me if I'm wrong, but with ideas, is they don't really do like a series of things, really.
No.
Once they've done that, and they're going to go, they're probably not going to do that thing again via ideas. So I really have a hard time, since they just came out with the pirate set, I really don't see them doing anything to do. Well, it was a ship and a, island and a ship. I don't see them doing any of those.
I see what you're saying. I just, I think that somebody somewhere, and I'm not saying that any of those three are gonna make the cut, but I find it interesting that 3 Imperial sets reached the 10,000 in the same trimester.
Well, because you know what that is, right? It's pretty much anything to do with castles, pirates, and space is always going to be popular.
Yeah.
We all miss it because it's not being made anymore. And we're like, where is it?
I just think that my point is that like somebody somewhere is going to say, we got the Barracuda, now we're missing the other side.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they're going to get made. I think it's I think it's noteworthy.
It would be interesting too to look at the submission dates on those, because those could have been sitting there.
That's true.
They could have been submitted around the same time as that, or even before, and that one just got there first and got produced.
I would actually really love the bonsai tree. I just think it's really completely different than anything they've done before.
I think bonsai tree can get made.
Yeah,
I think it's got a really good chance.
Yeah,
I think it's different, and I love that.
Brent, that's Brent Waller again, right? Would that be your third, Brent? He has 2 in there, by the way.
Yeah. So the calendar is his.
The calendar is also his.
Yeah.
I think Brent
that one
still in the chat.
He was very recently.
The bonsai will also it'll really sell in other markets that they're trying to break into too. Like they've been doing so many in China and stuff like that specific. I think it's got a great crossover potential. I think that is probably the best chance of almost any of the sets in here.
And it's at a good price point, so it's very accessible. I think it's pretty much the ship in the bottle of 2020.
Yeah, I think so too. Here's
it looks really cool.
Here's the genius behind ship in a bottle is it's something that everybody knows what a ship in a bottle is. Most people don't have a ship in a bottle. Most people, a ship in a bottle is something a bit mysterious. And nobody would consider a ship in a bottle something that you should be able to build out of Lego. I believe that those were the magic.
It's a pain, dude. It's
Yeah,
a total
sure,
change.
sure. I believe that was the magic formula behind Ship in a Bottle, and I haven't seen many other ideas that are quite like that. I think Bonsai Tree is right up there. Now, here's another magical thing. Oh, go ahead, Sam.
Well, I was gonna say, did you see that they just released the images for a Christmas wreath? So it's a lot of greenery in one package for coming out this season. It's coming out in the next few weeks, and so I feel like this kind of goes in that line. But people in the chat are saying they already have made one, most likely behind the scenes, and so it would probably get not approved because they've already got one in the works since they were already working on a greenery package.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the case, right? Oftentimes there's a lot of things that don't get approved that people are like shocked, like, oh, how could it not have gotten approved? Well, there's always that chance that it's something that Lego is already working on. So there's that.
Right.
Yeah. In fact, that's going to be my point with Ratatouille. Like Ratatouille would probably be like one of my top picks, but it's one of those things that like I can't assume that they're going to make it because I don't, what if they're making a Ratatouille like CMF figure or something?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that could be licensing. Anytime you have to license anything with Disney, it's a total crapshoot. So,
isn't Fall Guys a video game?
Yeah.
So those are always hard to get approved too because it's like they have to get the whole license for that, and it's.
Yeah, that's my. I think Fall Guys is my is my bottom.
Is your bottom?
Yeah.
Well, I think that the interesting thing about video games, and I think any of the projects, there's a couple of what are the Animal Crossing. I think that a video game can be incredibly popular right now.
Yep.
Right.
And quickly get the support. But is that video game going to be as popular in 2 years?
When the set comes out.
When the set comes out, and you can watch that. You can watch that across the toy aisle. I think by the time is it Fallout? By the time the Fallout action figures actually made it to the shelves, they almost immediately went to the clearance aisle.
Same thing with Angry Birds.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I think Lego learned their lesson with Angry Birds going.
I would hope so. I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the pop culture stuff it's more of the nostalgia stuff that everyone's loved for 30 years that would have a better chance of selling well than something that came out
Golden
right.
Girls, hello.
at least 10.
Yeah.
A video game that came out last month.
Right.
That's what I'm hoping. I don't. Like I said, I sat on the desire to submit something to ideas for a lot of years. I am not. Now, here's the deal. I don't even know if I should say this or not. I loved the Magic School Bus when I was young. My daughters love the new Magic School Bus now. And so when it occurred to me, we were sitting, this was back in May, and we were sitting on the couch watching the new version of the Magic School Bus, and they just loved it. And we were singing the song, and it reminded me of when I watched, I might have been a little bit older than the target demographic when the original came out, but I still enjoyed it greatly because I loved space and I loved science. And I would come home like from middle school and, put a quesadilla in the microwave and go down to the couch and watch the Magic School Bus just because it was hilarious. But I don't know. I have no idea if this has what it takes from a popularity standpoint, but I think the things that it has going for it is it's at least two generations of people who enjoy watching it. Yeah. And I don't believe that there's a huge Magic School Bus fan base out there, but what I have seen already a lot in the comments is you've shown me something I didn't know I needed, and now I want it desperately. It's got the playability, it's got different, it could be for school bus drivers, it could be for professional driver fans. There are people who collect school buses and fire trucks and police cars and all that stuff. It could be for fans of the original show, fans of the new show, fans of both or either. It can be a cross-generational thing. And here's another magic thing that the Ship in a Bottle had. You can't go to a Lego fan convention without seeing somebody who has put their own spin on Ship in a Bottle.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that true, Nick? Like every
yeah,
every
I've
convention you
seen
go
a
to,
lot of really
somebody
cool
has
stuff.
put, TARDIS in a bottle, Star Destroyer in a bottle, right? X-Wing in a bottle. And the Magic School Bus turns into a different thing in every episode that has ever been made of the show. And my hope is that not only could you buy it and be able to build a couple of different things, but that people might run with that creativity and turn it into some other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that idea.
We heard Holly's bottom. Now I gotta say this. I love Ash and Flash, and I love the color scheme of this thing. I'm sure that it's very popular. I would not mind having this just for all of those parts in those colors.
Oh, me too. I like the colors. The
I
parts,
like the parts in those colors, but not together.
Can you scroll down a little further? Are there more in this thing? I don't think I've ever got past the. Oh, that's it. Okay.
That's it. So Ratatouille. Sam, do you have a bottom?
Keep scrolling up. I'll tell you in a second.
I'm pressing these, everybody in the chat. I'm pressing these, my guests, to hear
the airplane. I know people like it. I feel like they do airplanes in the city series so often, and they like. I feel like it's just done all the time. It's like when I see somebody doing a space shuttle too, I'm like, a space shuttle's been done so many times. I just don't get it. Like I don't get it personally.
Yeah,
This would almost be like, it's beautiful. The colors are great. But also, this would make it even harder. Not only is it a plane, but they actually license the plane, so they have to get the licensing from Southwest to be able to do the color scheme. So it just makes it more and more unlikely, I think, it would ever be built.
Anytime you have like the company branding on there, that's already going to be problematic, I think.
It's just such a regional. Yeah, Jake.
That same person also has the 737 that's not branded, I think.
Okay.
So go vote for that. I love it. I don't know if it would get made for probably all those same reasons, but he has a really great YouTube channel where he builds all kinds of cool planes.
Yeah, he does the time lapses, and I've seen his planes. I've seen his planes in person, and they're huge. I mean, this 737-800 is. I'm just looking at the parts. I'm trying to imagine. It's probably like that long. You think it's a giant set? I don't know.
Big scale, yeah.
Yeah, probably easily like 3 feet long.
He actually builds them so that there can be rows of seats and minifigs fit in those.
It's amazing. That's amazing.
Speaking of things that have rows of seats and minifigs can sit in the seats, the Magic School Bus has a removable roof, and there is indeed enough seats in the school bus for all of the students and one driver. All right, sorry.
Mrs. Frizzle?
We have a Mrs. Frizzle.
Awesome.
I have both versions of Mrs. Frizzle. All right.
Are your minifigs? Do you have the custom minifigs? Like were those actually practically made, or was that digital?
The only one so all of the minifigures that I put. I'll talk about this a little bit. And while we're talking about this, I'll go ahead and put up a links in video description. I have they're all made from official pieces. This is the old Miss Frizzle, who is a professor now, and she sort of wears this kind of like I've seen the Flynn and Richard do this.
Yeah, that's it. You got it.
There you go.
She wears kind of this like I don't know what jungle expedition kind of outfit now.
Why don't you bring up your ideas page and show us, because you had some close-up pictures of the minifigs, right? Yeah,
that's a good idea. Thanks.
Sure. And then we can keep checking the count while you're at it.
We can check the count.
I want the
Let's see.
Avatar
Should we refresh?
review because I submitted one and it didn't go anywhere.
Did you say 968? Jeez, 968. 969. Sweet. So here is on the Magic School Bus, and watch out for that. So here are all of the figures. So this is the new Miss Frizzle, Valerie Frizzle. She's the sister of the original Miss Frizzle, and the new one is voiced by Kate McKinnon. The original was voiced by. Sorry, Jake, you're hiding behind a banner.
Oh, that's cool.
The original was voiced by Lily Tomlin. So what you see here is just a solid blue top, and I've photoshopped the necklace on. And the skirt is Anna from Frozen's skirt, and I've just photoshopped on some extra flowers and stuff.
Okay.
Smart.
And then the only other person, let's see, I removed via Photoshop the Newberry High logo from Tim's jacket.
What's Newbury
And
High?
it's hidden side.
Oh, okay.
So he's got
Yeah, I see it.
anyway.
Varsity. Yeah.
And then anyone else? Carlos has the face of the scientist from Jurassic World, and I photoshopped out some like age lines because it was the best face that I liked for Carlos, but I wanted him to look young, so I just took out those age lines. But otherwise, all of these figures have just official pieces.
That's good.
Cool.
So there you have it. That's the answer to that question.
Yeah, I noticed that skirt piece. That's what prompted me to ask, because I was wondering where that.
Like,
how
did you
you
make
make
that?
Yeah.
Yep. That's on and in fact, you can even still see, like, I didn't even mind, you know, the pattern from Anna's skirt. I just like added more to it, and it's, I don't know, maybe a little more bold than it should be, but that's okay. All right, there's that. What were we talking about before that?
I think we were still talking about our picks.
Oh,
are we doing top and bottom, or?
Yeah, we got to finish bottom. We don't get to top until you all give me the satisfaction of having made you say your bottom. But I think Jake or Sam said plain. Jake, yes. Are you too nice?
Generally.
Nah, I know better.
I'm not really a fan of the Up House either. I love the movie. It looks beautiful. I don't know. I would never see myself buying it.
The Up House?
Yeah, I don't know. I just wouldn't.
It's not even the best one that's been on Ideas. That's the disappointing part of it.
Yeah, there've been a lot on Ideas. Yeah. I think the house is very cute.
Oh, it looks great.
I think the way they did the balloons is very strange.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not into the balloons.
I understand that maybe at this scale they didn't have a lot of other options, but I can imagine one or two other things that I would have tried just to get some bigger, fuller, kind of like more robust balloon action going on up there above the house. Mm-hmm. Anyway, all right, Jake. Do we need to pass on your lease?
No, he has to pick.
No, I'm looking.
Are you looking at your own list, or are you relying on me to?
I'm watching as it goes by.
Well, and I think cars
I would say the pirate ship.
The pirate ship.
Yeah, just because they're just simply because one just came out.
One just came out. Okay.
For that reason alone, it's a beautiful ship.
Yeah. So you're not knocking the design. It's a beautiful ship.
No, not at all.
Yeah. I would also say, so my bottom picks are probably the Gravity. No, what was it? The
Fall Guy?
Yeah, Fall Guy. That's the one. And that 31 Minutos, I think it would be really cool. Like if they were going to do another, TV show based one, that it would be cool if they did it from another region, particularly from Mexico. I think would be cool, but I don't know that this is a particularly interesting or even good representation of what that show actually is, because I was informed that it's like a puppet. It's like a puppet TV show, and you don't even see the puppet. I don't know if there's more pictures of it, but I'm just having a hard time. Yeah, I guess there are. They did some drawings to suggest, but yeah, this runs into that problem where they're relying on Lego to make custom molded pieces, and they won't do that. So, or that's kind of their policy, anyways. That you can suggest custom colors, but not so much custom parts. So that's problematic. In fact, I'm surprised that even went through. Like I'm surprised they didn't flag that.
It's one of the things that made me not want to buy the Flintstones house is there was no Dino, and I'm like, he's an important character. Like, how do you They didn't even try to do a brick built one. It was like nothing, and I'm like, well, what? Like I'm missing a main character from the show.
Yeah. I don't see that one getting made. Unfortunately, I like the direction that that's going, but I don't think that's a strong enough proof of concept there for that one to get approval.
Okay, let's talk about favorites. Holly, you got a favorite?
I have a lot of favorites. It's tough to pick. I think definitely going to pick Bonsai Tree because I think there's a high probability that that's actually going to get made. And that checks a lot of boxes. I don't know that it's like the most like personally interesting to me, but it's pretty solid. I think that one's going to get made. Definitely the Vincent van Gogh Starry Night. This was actually something that I was playing around with last year. I was starting to design like an artist series of things that I was going to submit to ideas, but again, just didn't finish it. And also I started to find that as I was browsing around, a lot of people were doing a lot of similar things, were similar. So I just kind of abandoned it because I didn't think it was an original idea. So, but the way that
I tend to do that too. Like,
yeah,
somebody else has already done it. I don't need to do that one.
You know, this is obviously something I would like to have. And so I think it's really well done. And it's one of those things that I want to see get through because I really want to see how Lego interprets this into a production set because there's so many like crazy
connections.
Connections and stuff here that I'm like, oh, it would be really cool to see how
seeing the instruction booklet would be really crazy. Like, how did they get that one to snap out of that? Like, yeah,
absolutely, yeah. And then this could be like a whole. I really would like for them to do a series like this. So that's probably my like, and you know, my son's name's Vincent, so I'm a fan. It's definitely top of my list, I think. And then, of course, Ratatouille is up there. That always has a soft spot for me. And again, just very well executed. I think that's something that I would love to buy, love to have, love to build. Has a lot going for it. I can't say that I would be like brokenhearted if it didn't get made, but I think it's really well done.
Just really quick, I thank you, Holly, for sharing your tops. I gotta say, Spot the Magic Ninja said, could we get Coraline in the Magic School Bus that shrinks down to fit in a bottle and Betty White finds it?
That's awesome.
As she walks along the beach.
Wait, I have another favorite. I'm sorry. I almost forgot. There's so many. I'm so sorry.
There's so many good ones. Yeah.
So many. Yeah. The Brick West Studios is really fun. There's a lot going for that one too.
Well, yeah, they haven't done an old Wild West series in a long time.
Yeah.
And it's got all these. Yeah, I agree with you completely.
Yeah, it's like a really fun.
There's so many.
Because I know. So like ideas, you know, tends to lean towards doing display models, and I think this one would make just a really fantastic play set. And then there's just really well executed. There's so many little details and fun play features and things to this that now I have a hard time seeing it get made because it doesn't really fill that gap. I mean, it fills a gap in that, you know, Lego isn't currently producing any like Western sets, but they have, you know, they've done Western themes and Western thing.
But it's been a long time and it does have a huge following.
That's true. Exactly. So it does have that going for it, but I don't think it necessarily presents anything new or extremely nostalgic. You know, it's like, it would be cool, but I want this set, but I could totally see that this would have been something that Lego would have made without ideas is kind of my,
Jake, the saloon on the ADP was like in the top 3 or 2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
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 So it's definitely popular. I mean, I don't think they could go wrong if they did submit it. But then this is the problem is like, what are they making this instead of? Are they making this instead of something else that would never get made unless it was through ideas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Sam, did you have a favorite?
Well, I like the Bonsai Tree. I want an Avatar set, even though I've already got my own Avatar set that I made. And I really hate that they the person here missed an opportunity. Toph, her hairpiece should be the one with the headphones on because she's got short hair like that, and the headphones painted white, so it makes her little muff things. That's how I did mine. their op-ed is very small compared to the one I made, which I really actually like. I'm like, wow, that's really nice because it's more compact and more. And I would love to get. I would love to get Iro. So I would like the series. So it's just to me, just because I want it, not because I think it's like the one that's going to get chosen or anything like that. I just personally want it.
Jake, do you have a top?
Yeah, probably the bonsai tree is one of the top ones. I like the what? Oh, sorry, you just skipped one, but
Oh,
there was one that I just keep seeing scroll by, but I didn't up a little. I didn't even know what it was yet.
Don't you have a browser, Jake?
Yeah, but I'm looking at the screen right here, and I'm watching the
what is
chat
it?
on the phone. I don't.
I'm giving
Am
you a
I-
hard time.
That
am
one
I
right
seeing
there.
it? This
That
one?
Yeah, what is that?
Is that Halo?
This,
Oh,
no,
Portal.
it's Portal. Portal
Okay.
2.
But haven't they already made Portal sets?
Nah, they just did the one little
They did like a mini
different
figure.
dimensions. Yeah.
But yeah, I like the bonsai tree, and then I also like the just because I like the movie was Night at the Museum.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they'll
Let's see,
make it
that
or
was
not, but
close to the
Oh.
bottom, right?
and I think it's the first one. Like
Oh,
that was a
there
kid
at the
that
top.
that was a movie I watched with the kids a lot. Actually,
Yeah.
we had the second
There it
movie
is.
that we watched 1,000 million times.
I just like the idea of doing a museum too, because they haven't done one yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where licensing becomes a double-edged sword because the
Yeah.
licensing, if you license something like this, like Night of the Museum, which is a really popular movie, so if somebody just did a museum, it's less likely that it would have gotten the support that it
Yep.
gets when you put Night of the Museum on it. But the
Right.
problem with it is that once it's gotten the support and then it has to go into review, it could be that licensing that prevents it from getting made.
Well,
Yep.
and
So, yeah.
This one's double licensed, kind of, because it's based on a real museum. So they might have to get permission
Right.
from Night at the Museum and get permission from the actual museum itself. Like that'd be the same way about the Empire State Building or the
Mhm.
Chrysler Building. If you put them in a near, they have to get approval from the company that owns those buildings because they're intellectual property.
Exactly.
So it
Yeah.
can be very, very complicated.
Yep.
All that being said, I like the movie. So
Yeah.
there's that.
I'm excited about this one too. I hope that it does go through.
I think it's a really good representation too, as a mock of the
Yeah.
movie.
I think the ones I know we were curious what you would think about the cars, Jake, because on Sunday I think everybody was kind of saying that they didn't know much about the cars.
Yeah.
Do you have any feelings about any of the cars that are in this?
How many car?
Well, I
There's
feel
this-
like
there's this one,
smaller
the
cars, they have a
Trabant.
line of cars all the time. So I think those ones.
There's
I don't
the
see them having a
BMW.
chance. Personally, I just don't see it having a chance. But the bigger car,
That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Right.
there's
Well,
plenty.
it's kind of almost like the creator style car.
yeah, and it's been done.
Which,
Yeah.
like, there's already the Cottrum that came through ideas. I mean, again, as we've said several times, they're all really cool builds.
Right.
They just know if wood. I want those chrome parts,
Of course.
Yeah.
definitely.
You know they wouldn't do that though. They would
Oh,
not
I know.
put parts in chrome.
And I have to say, chrome's a pain to work with, anyways. If you
Yeah.
get a lot of it, because
Yeah.
it sucks.
Yeah.
It just looks so good.
And the funny thing is too, apparently Moto pointed out that the notorious thing about that Trabant, what makes it so noteworthy is that it's like a notoriously like awful car, like very low quality car. Oh, thanks for that. Thank you. Thanks, Rick. And I don't think that now if you really want to talk about whether it fits Lego's, image or whatever, I don't see that Lego's going to want to make a set for something that's notoriously like low quality, right?
Right. That's why I haven't submitted an Edsel yet.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
a Pinto.
Studebaker, maybe. But no, yeah. And then the other ones, what were the other cars?
the other
It
two
was a
cars,
BMW
They were
and
kinda
it's a Technic. Oh no, they're not Technic. I'm sorry.
Oh, they're kind of
they look like the
Yeah.
Speed Champions line. Like they
Mhm.
already have so many
like
cars
just
out
a
there
little
they
bit
do.
bigger than, maybe bigger
Yeah.
than Speed Champions.
I just
Yeah, I don't
think-
know.
Okay, so castles, pirates, space, and cars are always going to like make their way through ideas.
Right.
But the cars, I can never see them getting made because they have so many cars
I
in
know.
their different lines.
It doesn't.
They're
It
never
doesn't
gonna-
matter. They're still gonna get like to the 10,000. It's
Well,
just
oh,
really
yeah.
likely they make it to 10,000 because those are just very popular things with Lego people, right?
Have there been let me ask you this. have there been? I'd be curious to know where what was the car that made it through ideas?
The Cottram, the yellow one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Or over here we say Caterham.
Yeah. I'm curious to know, that came through ideas.
Yeah.
Was there an increase in like the creator style cars after that car had success on ideas?
There's been several since, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there were one or two before that too, though. I don't know. It seems like it's fairly consistent. Maybe they ran out of ideas for the cars for that year, and they just used that ideas one to fill that quota.
Maybe
like we said earlier, it depends on what it's up against too. Like maybe what that car was up against that particular review period wasn't particularly like they could have run into licensing issues with the other ideas. They could have I don't recall. So you never really know exactly why they pick the things they do.
Fazoom, you're gonna love this, Holly. Fazoom says, "Where's the space? There's no space."
I know. It's like it's mind blowing that for once it wasn't like 50% space.
and it was 50% pirates.
Exactly. Everybody. Yeah, the pirates finally beat out the space folk.
His follow up was, "I am space sad."
Yeah. Well, there's been plenty of that for sure. So
in space, no one can hear you cry.
Should we do a count check? Let's do a count check. We're gonna hop over to the 1950s. Am I saying it right? Murray Torpedo Roadmaster pedal car.
What?
Murray, right?
Murray, yeah.
Murray,
yeah.
Right? Like
the
Bill
bicycle.
Murray?
Yeah.
Like the bicycle. We're gonna hit. This doesn't look like I've supported it, but I have because I'm logged into an incognito window here. Going to refresh. We're going from 3017 to 3023.
Yay.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Awesome.
In case you weren't sure why you were watching this live stream, it's so you can go support some great ideas projects. And we're going to pop right back over to the Magic School Bus. We're going from 969. Is that the latest? Yeah, 969 is the latest we've seen. Updating to 975.
Yeah.
All right. So we're halfway. We've been on for an hour and 12 minutes, and we're halfway to the goal I wanted to reach tonight. So what that means is that everyone who has gone to vote since this live stream began, all you have to do, look, if you are a person who has voted in the last hour and 15 minutes, all you have to do is get one other person to go vote.
Yeah,
you can share the link.
That's right. Voting is nice, but sharing is so much better.
Share the link. Share the link. If you share with 3 people,
love.
Here's the deal. If everyone who has voted so far, we're at 975, we're almost to 1,000. If everyone who has voted so far sent the link, if everyone who's voted so far got 3 people to support, and each of those 3 people got 3 people to support, we'd be done already.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how powerful.
Stop hearing us talk.
That's how powerful your influence on your friends is. Now, I hesitate to ask you to, invite anyone who just really isn't a Magic School Bus fan to vote. But I do think I've had some responses from people in the comments on the ideas page, in my posts on Instagram and Facebook. I've had some people say, I've never even seen it, but I'd love to build this model because it has this and this and this going for it. So share it with anyone.
I'm one of those people. I've never watched this Magic School Bus. It was like that right in between.
Yeah.
It was after my time. It was really kind of before my kids are too old for it now. So
yeah,
I know what it is. I was never really into it, but it's an awesome model. I'd love to build it and play with it.
Well, thank you.
I was in between, but I totally watched it.
I've seen episodes because I worked in toys, so I'm the same way. I'm like
Yeah, exactly. All right.
I would buy it.
Right. Yeah, my roommates and I, we were even we graduated in 96, so we were already out of high school while that was still going on. But we'd watch that and Bill Nye, because it was on at that time of day before we had to go to work.
You graduated high school or college, 96?
High school.
Okay. We're about the same age.
You're such a baby.
Oh, thanks. Everyone else thinks I'm old.
He's older. He's older than
Appreciate
me.
that.
I'm older than Boone. I think Boone's the baby.
I'm the youngest in
Yeah,
this.
Boone's the
stream.
younger one. Yeah, I'll be a little bit older in a couple
And
of
I'm
days.
the old lady.
I gotta tell you all about this. I thought this would be funny. I don't want to offend anyone with this. I love my viewers of all ages. So I had an idea for a funny meme today. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to. Oh, here he is. I had this idea of taking a picture of this guy in the palm of my hand.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Blacktron.
and just making
It's
a
my
meme
favorite.
of it, and making a meme of it that says something like, "I was using this guy as Darth Vader before you were born."
Yeah.
I don't know. But I get easily offended by people who are older than me, who look down on me for being young. So I don't want to send that message to my younger viewers. Thank you all for being here.
Yeah,
Thank you all for being here, and thank you all for helping me make the Magic School Bus
A real set.
a real set. Okay, let me put
I have a quick question. Do people hate the mini dolls?
I love mini dolls.
Like
I hate things about them.
the Golden Girls as mini dolls instead of mini figures? Would that ruin it or would it make it better?
I don't. Me personally, I wouldn't. I'd prefer standard.
I
minifigs.
prefer standard too. Like,
Right.
but it's
Yeah.
just one of those things. I wonder.
I think the mini dolls really are like targeted for kids.
They're
So
blind. Yeah, I agree.
What? Kids. What does that have to do with this?
I
Well,
like. I like.
No, no.
All right. Speaking of
Hey, Sam, one
Yeah.
quick. You could mix and match the dolls and minifigs based on the actress body type if you want. Like, there's one lady that's shorter and a little bit more rotund,
Exactly.
but then the other lady's pretty skinny. So
So
Just a thought.
I have a question. I don't know if you want to. I'm sending you the link through the chat, Boone. But we should be hearing here in just a couple of weeks. They should be announcing the next ideas set or sets. Right, end of September.
yeah.
yeah, shouldn't be long.
So I don't know.
What are you linking to me?
Well, it's the last. It's the
It's the one before yours, right?
yeah. So this
The one
is
that Brick and Nick Cybertruck is in that one.
yeah. So this is the list of product ideas before the ones that just went into review. So out of these are going to be the ones that are going to be announced soon. Does anybody want to make their predictions as far as which ones they think are going to get announced?
I would love to see him.
Okay, the link is in the.
I'm sorry. I'm over here looking at them and didn't realize that I wasn't showing them to you. Mary Poppins?
See, I wanted
Cybertruck?
to make the Mary Poppins set for years.
Untitled Goose Game. I don't know what that is.
It's a game.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
A terrible movie.
Train Station.
Is not.
Oh, I do not like that movie.
Great movie.
SpaceX Falcon 9.
It's so like
Minifig Scale Project Gemini. Oh, this is okay. The Retro Bowl, Indiana Jones, Bricks and Blooms. That's pretty.
it's beautiful, but I think it's like
Right.
it's another modular set that I don't think will happen because it's like
Sonic Mania, The Great Fishing Boat, Kit, Snow Groomer, The
I
Castle.
think that's like the
Forest.
first Technic set that got to 10,000.
The Snow Groomer. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And Coraline's Pink Palace Apartments,
I want Coraline's house just because I want all those pink parts too.
Historically
Like, I
Accurate
saw it.
Rome, and The Ruined House. I remember talking about The Ruined House. SpongeBob,
They've already done SpongeBob.
Working
It won't happen.
Waterfall, Queen, The Miracle Express, Futurama,
Kind of like the Futurama one.
The Iron Giant.
I'm hoping for Iron Giant.
I've wanted Iron Giant since the first time I ever saw anybody build what I wanted
Yep.
so bad.
Yep.
The New Glen Rocket, The Earth Globe.
I want the globe
them.
because it's one of those ones that's like built. The technique is different. Like something about the globe is special. Like the chip in a bottle. It's like it's never been done before.
And I want to point out something what I find absolutely bonkers is that I think out of these, both of these review periods, the 26 and the 35, I know of only 2 other females. There may have been more, but I'm only aware of there being 2 other female designers behind these.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. There's
The
not
Zoom,
enough,
the
there's not
Zoom
enough
is
females in Lego in general.
Globe, huh?
Zoom thinks Globe will get made.
Calling the Globe.
I just think the Globe has that same kind of thing as Ship in the Bottle and Bonsai. It's totally different than anything that's ever been done before, and they really love that. Like the
and
piano.
I've seen a bunch of Globes on ideas too. So
yeah, there's been some really nice ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of demand for it. So I would say likely, yeah, Globe could get made. Anyone else have a prediction as far as what else that they think will get announced?
I think if any of the space ones get made, it's going to be Gemini.
Me too.
Yeah,
I think it's the most visually appealing here. I think it's the most kind of historically. I think SpaceX is too new
phallic?
and it looks awfully phallic.
It looks very phallic. Yes. I think Sonic has no chance as becoming an ideas because if they've got the license, they've got the license. If they don't, they don't.
I guess, but it wouldn't be in review if. Well, I guess that's not true. Yeah, no, it wouldn't have been accepted if licensing was an issue, I think.
Well, no, I mean it's them getting the. I just don't think they're gonna
relicense it since they've already done it.
They have Nintendo's license now. It's very doubtful they're gonna get the Sega license too.
I think you're right about that. Yeah,
I just doubt it.
I could see Iron Giant. I think people would love Iron Giant. I think here's let me tell you. I think Iron Giant and Coraline have a couple things going for them, or have the same extra thing going for them. It's that I believe those models, not only do they have their own fan bases, but I believe that like anybody would love to have a giant pink Victorian house, and anybody would love to have a giant retro sci-fi robot, right? That's what I think those models have going for them. Yeah.
I think that ruined house is beautiful, and I want one for myself. I just don't see them making it as a set, but I think it's absolutely gorgeous.
I agree. I think it's a really cool model, but again, it's this is one that I talked about when Boone had me on his.
So bad.
Yeah, when Boone.
It doesn't make sense as a set to me.
Yeah.
We talked about it a little bit there because that was my pick for cool things.
Yeah.
It's number 18. Yeah. And it's really cool, but I kind of stick by what I said then, that I just don't see this being an ideas set. I could even see it being maybe a Lego set given some modifications, but it's again not something that I think is the best use of ideas.
Lovely. It is gigantic.
It's very cool.
Looks very small here, but it's really big, and I'm like, it's just lovely.
Yeah.
All right.
I also want Nick's Cybertruck too.
Really? See, that's.
What do you think? Do you think it's going to get made?
I don't know. I want Nick to win, and Holly.
I want Nick.
You go without saying you're here. We already talked about this thing.
But if you have to pick one, Jake, no, I'm kidding.
If I have to pick one,
no, it's okay.
I like the spaceship thing then.
Okay.
I mean, the only one on here that I'm surely I would buy no matter what is Mary Poppins, because
I like that one too.
Because that's my favorite movie, one of my favorite characters of all time. Like I would get it even if I had to sell other Lego sets to be able to buy it. Like I would sacrifice for that one.
Yeah, but of course there's no way for us to know. It's one of those things like every other Disney property. If it's not announced, like if they don't announce this as one of the Mary Poppins as being one of the sets getting made, you can almost assume that they already have a Mary Poppins thing in the works, or
it's just they don't think it's like popular enough to do it. You know?
Oh, whatever. Yeah.
I want this car. I don't know if it's nearly popular enough for anybody to want to buy it, but
I would totally get that.
I think it's incredible.
I think it has kind of that same thing going for it, that like, okay, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is a little bit of a flash in a pan right now, where it kind of came back with like when Disney Plus was launched, I think is when it sort of became like popular again, because people were kind of going back and watching all the nostalgic movies. And so I kept sort of hearing a lot about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang all at once, and then all of a sudden it was like a thing, and then I don't hear about it anymore. So maybe in 2 years people won't get why on earth Lego would make a set for Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, but it's still a really cool car that I think a lot of people would be interested in having regardless.
Okay, Cool. Did we hit all of what we wanted to say about these? Holly, do you have
Good
anything
luck,
else?
Holly. Good luck. I would
Good
love
luck,
it.
Holly.
I will
Yeah.
buy one too. I will definitely buy one.
I'm a nervous wreck. I guess all I have to say is that if mine doesn't make it and it gets beat out by like Iron Giant, then I guess I have to be okay with that.
Oh man.
I mean, I want all those pink pieces, and I want to like learn how to do that roof, and I'm like, I love it.
You know what I want most? I really just want the official Lego minifigures. That's where my heart is. That's the main thing for me is I really, really, really want some like official Lego figures of all these guys.
Let me ask you.
Yours look so beautiful, though. They look gorgeous.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this, and this might be a question that this is purely speculative. It might be a question that we can't really even talk about, even if we had some inclination as to what the answer would be. But Holly, do you think, like, if it really did, if it came down to like Pink Palace Apartments and Iron Giant, do you think your fans within the walls at Lego in the design building would have anything to do? Could they do anything to sway it your way? I don't know. I have no idea.
You mean like the executives? Do you think the executives are like vying for it? Is that what you're wondering?
No, I mean like I guess I'm just wondering, is that part of the conversation at all? Like people are there and they're like, so and so who we've never heard of made this, and so who we really like made this. Is there anybody at any level that is like, hey, my opinion is that we do that one because it's an awesome model and we like the designer?
Anybody like it though?
No.
At Lego. At Lego? Oh, well.
I don't know how it works. I have no idea how that process works.
Honestly, I wondered the same thing because obviously there are maybe some people there at Lego that are vying for it, but I don't know how much pull
I don't either.
Committee. I mean, it's a committee, so
zero.
Right.
I really have no. I would love to be a fly on the wall and see how that
would be fun.
how those discussions go, and I wonder if people get like really heated about it. I'm sure some of the designers and some of the people on the committee probably are really passionate about some of their favorites, but if they get voted down, then I really just don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's already been an Iron Giant, hasn't there, that got to 10,000?
Yeah, there was one that made it
get improved.
But
Maybe.
I don't know.
You never know what changes too. Like,
All right.
like right now, I've convinced myself if I got 10,000 on Golden Girls again, it would probably get made because they would have seen like, look, it's been 6 years and people are still clamoring for this.
Exactly.
And it's gotten bigger on Hulu and stuff like that. Like that, they go and it's got licensing now. It never had licensing before, so they're like, okay,
Right.
we actually can get this license now. It's a thing. So should we try this one this time? Like.
Yeah, I agree. Once if you've got the same property making it 10,000 multiple times, that should be a sign that maybe Lego should consider it.
Okay, do y'all have time for a few questions?
Yeah.
Sure.
We're gonna go to the chat for Q&A. It is AFOL Q&A. AFOL Q&A. Hey, put all of those questions in the live chat. We are going to the live chat now for some questions. Jay Clam said, Boone, would you be interested in sending me a copy of my ideas set? Would you be interested in me sending you a copy of my ideas set? Hey, listen, I'm creating policy right here as we speak. Anybody is welcome to send me a copy of their ideas set. However, as Jake knows, he sent me a thing that he started selling on, what was that? Mock Pages, or not Mock Pages, Rebrickable.
Rebrickable.
And I never made the video. And I kept apologizing to him. And it's right over there. So I'm sorry, Jake.
It's all good.
I started creating that new policy, that new policy, and it had to be turned into a new apology because I forgot that you had sent me that, and I still have never built it. But the point was,
It's cool. We're here. We're doing the pedal car. It's all good.
and now I am more of a full-time YouTuber, Lego personality than I was when Jake sent me that. So what I'll say is you could send it. You'd be more than welcome to send it. I will do the absolute best I can to work it into my rotation. But it's totally up to you. That's just up to you. If JM Clam, if you think that me talking about it on my channel would benefit you, I'd be happy to do that. If you send it to me physically, I'm not going to start talking about every person who sends me every link every day. I can't. But if you send it to me and I get to build it, I'd be happy to do that. And Jake, I'll make it up to you. Maybe at the 1 year anniversary, I'll make you a review video for the chibi. All right, Jeff McElwee with $5 says, interesting to hear all of your opinions about ideas. Very infotaining. I like that. Infotaining.
Nice.
Okay, Rick Brickham says, you all have already answered this, but what is the best way to gather support for your Lego idea submission?
Marketing. Submit on different kinds of websites. Like if you're submitting especially a license thing, find the fan group on Facebook and say, oh, this fan group likes this thing. Post your picture there. Like find all the fan groups. Find all the anybody who's related to that thing. Like you're doing a ship in a bottle. Find people online who make real ships in a bottle. Like find your market.
Yeah. I don't know the answer to that question yet.
Yeah, get a link in front of people and genuinely, convince people, people that it's, if you're genuinely excited and enthusiastic about it and you're able to share that with people in whatever way, I think it becomes kind of contagious.
Infectious, yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Dallin asked, what do you think of the new ideas rules allowing custom parts like minifigure heads like the upcoming Sesame Street?
I didn't know they were doing that.
Here's what I'll say about that is the rules have not changed. At least don't quote me on this, but I've just submitted an idea in the last week and I've read the rules over and over and over again very recently. I do not believe the rules for submitting have changed.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, Lego is always allowed to do whatever they want with the products they create.
And they've done it a few times now in idea sets where they've created a new part for that specific set.
Yeah, usually the way that they've been able to get away with that in the past is that it's a molded part that they've then used for something else.
Yeah.
Right.
But things like Sesame Street heads, I can understand where they think the volume's going to be big enough to be like the Simpsons line, where they go, look, we'll make some heads. It won't cost us that much. We'll sell enough of them. It'll make the money back.
Yeah.
And probably Sesame Street was very much saying, if you're going to do this, you're doing this the right, like you did for Dimensions. You're going to actually sculpt some heads for it if we wanted to look like our character.
Yeah. See, I think I could see
it wouldn't look right as just normal minifigs.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
right. I could see the same conversation happening, with like Leica or something where it's like, you could do it this way, but then they put that in front of Leica for approval, and then maybe Leica just demands that they have to, like, we'll pay for it. You have to make this look right, kind of thing, or something.
Yeah.
Ben says, which Lego color would you be most likely to drink if it were a smoothie?
That's an interesting question, Ben. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Can we say like a shake? The shake's like a smoothie, right? It's like a dessert smoothie. So I'm going with reddish brown because chocolate.
I'm going to
The Magic School Bus currently available or currently up for your consideration on Lego Ideas. Find the link in the description of the video. Inside its side panels has, why is this being hard?
Because you're on camera.
Yeah, because I'm on camera. This isn't very good advertising. Oh, and it's on the other side.
I like olive green because I think it's like I always like healthy shakes, like the kale shakes with spinach and spirulina and stuff like that. So that'd be my color shake right there.
That's a good point. If somebody put something in front of me, it was like a blind taste thing, and I had to choose between brown and green, I would probably pick green.
So this has dark pink inside the chassis, and I think a dark pink smoothie would be pretty tasty because it'd probably be some combination of strawberry and raspberry and
cherries and.
I'm with you, Boone. Usually pink is the safe choice. So
while I'm taking the sides off the Magic School Bus, I should probably just transform it into the Magic School rocket ship, or I guess it's more like the space shuttle, huh?
Yep.
But anyway.
Well, that checks the space box too for you.
Oh
yeah, exactly. You got both.
Did everyone answer that question?
Yes.
All right. Let's move on.
And no, Dave, blue is usually not an appetizing color.
Let's see. I'm looking for more questions. Isn't dark pink just red? No, this is more like a dark kind of more rich neon. Could you turn it into a sub real quick? Yeah. Okay, I'll turn it into a sub. But let's answer another question, and I'll turn this into a sub while we're answering another question.
Somebody said that you can't you can't, after you submit it as a Lego idea, you can't sell your instructions online or anything like that.
That's what I've heard. That's what I was.
The last I read was up to 3 years.
Yeah, because I'm like, if somebody wants my Golden Girl set and I want to sell the instructions, what can Lego do to me now? Really, they decide not to make it. Can I just freaking sell it now?
I wouldn't.
Well, how long ago was it that it got denied?
2016. I want to say.
You're probably almost good then, because I think it used to be like forever, but now the last I checked it was 3 years.
Yeah, because I'm like,
so then you retain ownership again after 3 years.
Yeah, I know some people were commenting on Tricky Bricks the other day. They were like, don't worry if, Pink Palace doesn't get made, we'll buy your instructions. I'm like, unfortunately, no, it's not an option. I can answer this question. Is it important to keep updating the submission? I would say yes, mostly because it gives you something interesting to repost, because you don't want to just spam the same thing over and over again. So if you're making updates, then it does give you something interesting to update in whatever forum you're using to say, hey, I did this thing, and then repost the link. So, and also there's always a chance to make improvements and modifications. For me, most of those updates were like about just details, like doing like decal work or stickers or minifig updates, things like that, are kind of fun little. In fact, I think I told Boone this when he was talking about getting ready to submit it. It was like, make sure that you kind of pace it out there, so you always have something that you're able to keep posting about.
And pictures are very, very, very important. Like very important. Like I cannot stress that enough. There's the sub.
Here's the sub.
Nice.
Awesome.
I love how the back wheels disappear. I love how that happens.
Just know that you can't change. I think this is still true, right? You can't change your main image.
Yeah, you can't change your main image.
You do want to make sure you don't want to post a whip to ideas. You do want to make sure that it's in some form of like final presentation. It's fine if you keep updating it and improving it, make modifications, but you really want to put that best foot forward.
Yeah, the best picture you have is it shows the most of the set and like a nice angle and gets the idea across.
I should say that I believe I have about I currently have about an update per 1,000 planned. So when we reach 1,000, let's see, are we close? 975. What's that?
You're pretty close.
Let's do the Roadmaster. 3,023. 3,025.
Yeah.
More. The links are in the description of this video. 975. We're going to refresh it. 983. Oh my goodness. Nice. 17. All right. Do you have 17 friends?
I tell you what, let me see if I can do this.
I wish I had 17 friends.
One person in the chat who has 17 friends, or 17 individuals in the chat who have one friend, or any combination in between, could make this happen. 1,000 tonight. I will be a tenth of the way 10% of the way to the 10,000 required to get Lego to look at this thing. And I just transformed it into a submarine. I've got a third transformation planned for 2,000 subscribers. I have a little bit of a musical project that I have planned for probably somewhere around 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers. So awesome
5,000.
updates coming for the Magic School Bus. So please follow that link and go support. Now, if you need to create an account, or if you don't have an account at Ideas, you will need to create an account. But there are two important links in the description below. One is for Jake Sadovich's 1950s Murray Torpedo Roadmaster pedal car, and the other is for the Magic School Bus by me. We are here. Fazoom says, supported. Thank you so much, Fazoom.
Nice.
All right. Any other questions in here?
Dallin Powell says, how do you feel about digital versus physical? And that's a weird thing, because when I'm looking at things, I always can tell when they're digital. Like, I'm always like, oh, that looks fake. It looks like digital. It doesn't look like it's a real one. And I don't know. I always want to see what it looks like in the real world. I'm always more drawn to real world ones than I am through the digital ones.
Yeah, but I think the renders have gotten a lot better too, though. So I've seen some older renders that were pretty bad. And if you're doing something where you have a lot of color changes, new colors for a part, say, you almost have to, unless you want to spray paint some stuff, like
I went
somebody
in, like,
I don't know would
just
do.
certain parts to change them. I'm like, okay, I gotta change that one after it's already done. Like, I've done that.
Well, let me tell you, this is a trigger point for me. Because of my profession, I'm constantly having this debate of practical versus digital, because I do 3D CG animation and for a stop motion film company. So I get the advantages and disadvantages of both. Given that Ideas is a platform for proof of concept, I don't think it really matters whether it's practical or digital. Like Jake said, there's obviously advantages to like why you would do it digitally, and there's sometimes reasons like you can only do it digitally. It usually does look better if it's physical. And I think somebody tried to make a case. Well, if you see a photo versus a render, that it has some structural integrity. I was like, no, not necessarily. We know better than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the tools are getting better. Renders are getting better. I think we're headed that way to where we very could conceivably be at a place where you're not going to be able to tell the difference. Even if they did somehow require that, like, okay, now it has to be physically built. I could totally like trick somebody and still do a digital build and pass it off. If I really needed to and wanted to, I have the tools that I could do that aren't necessarily like, Lego tools, if that was necessary, but I don't think it is. I don't think it matters. It's unfortunate. The only unfortunate part about there being the digital tools is that obviously it does make it more accessible, which is a good thing, but also a bad thing, because then people can open up the free software, put 20 bricks together, and submit it to Ideas in one night. There's really nothing preventing them from doing so.
Right.
There's that.
Yeah, I don't have a strong opinion on it. I think you're all making good points. Cody, thank you, Cody. $7 for the super chat tonight. Thank you very much. Boone.
I haven't. Hey, Cody, thanks.
Hi, Cody.
I haven't used the digital. Like, can you do illegal or odd connections that way? Like, could I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yeah, because you can tell it to just literally put it exactly where you want it. It doesn't even, like, you can turn off collision and make it not even care about, what's running into what, and just like so dial it into exactly where you want it.
Less integrity than a real one, because it's like,
oh yeah,
good. Like, the things are just floating there. Okay.
Yeah. Cody said, Boone, would you part with Jake's original Ship in a Bottle? First of all, I do not own Jake's original Ship in a Bottle. I own
It's over there.
I own Jake's. Is it the only copy you've ever made?
Yes.
I own the only
He tells
copy.
everybody that.
Oh yeah.
What was that?
And he says that to everybody.
I say this?
No, Jake.
Oh.
He tells
He tells everybody that. Yeah. I own the copy that was built of the original by Jake. Would I part with it? I think
For enough money,
perhaps for a really good cause or enough money. If enough money caused me to part with it, that would be a really good cause. No, I don't know.
I'll part with anything for enough money.
Yeah, I guess.
Just take enough pictures of it that you can build another one, whatever.
Yeah. Part of me wouldn't want just anybody to have it. Part of me would want someone, and Cody certainly could fall into that category. All right, let's see.
Save up, Cody. Hit him up.
Yeah, what are you watching, Cody? Was that what the $7 is for?
This isn't an auction. If you have energy to go click on anything, go click on the support button on the Magic School Bus. Matt Gaskill says, "What is your favorite movie of all time?" I'm just going to think about that while I hit refresh. Oh, 990. We're 10 away.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're 10 away from 1,000.
Working.
Whew. All right, go get your friends. Go get your students. If you're a teacher, if you are a teacher of a school, get out that email list right now and tell your families that this is a mandatory prerequisite to beginning the virtual school year. Send them this link and don't explain why. Just who has a favorite?
I have to say real fast, I think Spot the Magic Dragon is making a dig at me because our bumper cars on the show, and I'm like, no, don't come for me.
Sam, I've been trying to make a solid bumper card build for my amusement park. Any tips? Oh, Space-Time Brick Studio supported
bumper cars anyways.
supported the Magic School Bus and supported the chat with $5. Thank you so much, Space-Time Brick Studio. Greatly appreciated.
So I have something to talk about with you, Boone, because this puts you in similar territory where I was with Coraline House. Is that, it's kind of unfortunate when there's an idea set that actually does appeal to kids because kids don't get to vote.
Yeah.
And I did bring this up with some of the guys on the ideas team. They didn't really have a very good response. I mean, of course, it was like, obviously, primarily ideas is, I think, intended to be like for adults, by adults kind of thing. But being that obviously Lego's target demographic is kids, you would think it would be a benefit if you submit something that appeals to kids, but trying to get the kid vote for it is rather difficult. So do you have any ideas about how you're going to get parents to vote for this thing for their kids?
Yeah. I guess I don't have any solid ideas about that. I think one thing that is, some of the things that I have thought about are like, who are the adult demographics? And it's like, they're, kids who were kids in the 90s and watched the original are now adults.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there are teachers who use the shows as, an educational resource in their classrooms. So I could see there being kind of this educational, like, adult world that could appreciate, just having not. I have seen one or two people say, like, this would be a fun educational resource. I don't know that I see the set actually being, like, used extensively as an educational resource. If people do, that's great, but I would see it more as like a teacher who fancies themselves, Miss Frizzle in this in the eyes of their children, thinking that this was kind of cool, and so the educational world in that sense. But then as far as like kids now who are watching like the new version of the show, the only thing I've considered is like parenting blogs. I kind of plan to like reach out to some parenting blogs, and then it's like, then it's still not targeting children, but it is maybe targeting parents who are paying attention to what their children like.
Yeah, that's the right approach. Yeah, because you got to get to the parents since the kids can't. Yeah, it became apparently like heartbreaking to me, particularly at conventions, because you'd have so many little kids that would gravitate toward the pink dollhouse, and I would sort of assume they just like it because it's a pink dollhouse, but actually they were like huge fans of Coraline. Like Coraline was their favorite movie. They had to watch it every night to go to sleep, and these are like 4, 5, 6-year-olds. And it kind of occurred to me like, well, here's the fan base right here. How do I get to this fan base?
Right.
Well, I think part of that is because you've got a minimum age, right, to create an account. But I think it's
13. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think in there it basically says too that if you're a parent, you can make an account for a younger kid.
Yeah, but some of those parents didn't get it. I mean, there's the same thing where there's some
you've got to get that across.
Yeah, because the movie's 10 years old. You do have a lot of kids that grew up on it that are now like in their like 20s that are excited enough about it. And that was probably actually, I would think, the majority of people voting for it actually. But
it's weird. I think that's 10 years old.
I know, isn't it? Well, it's like 11 years now. But a lot of the little kids, because it's like on Netflix or whatever, and it's in the kids section of media or whatever. So some of these kids are watching this movie, and so the kids have seen it and the parents haven't. And so when the kids were getting really excited about the Coraline house, and their parents are just standing there shrugging like, okay, cool. And I'm having to do this whole idea pitch to them and tell them to go vote for it. And it's like, for the children, it's just weird.
Yeah, that's I do think I've seen more comments so far that are people saying, "Oh my gosh, I loved the Magic School Bus when I was a kid." I've seen more of that than I've seen people saying, "Oh, my kids love this."
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
I have seen both.
It's not been out that long, right? Like the reboot.
The reboot has been out for like a year.
Oh, okay. It has been then.
Yeah, and they just released, because I think there's 2 seasons of the new one, but I could be wrong about that. But they just released like I don't know, it's like a 45 or 60 minute long kind of movie where they go to the International Space Station. So anyway.
Yeah, but
I just got an idea.
Your bus would have that same appeal though. Like if you displayed that bus at a convention, the kids would just be like gaga over it,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you. Let's see. Are any of you working on other future ideas sets currently?
I have some ideas, but I haven't actually started anything yet.
I have things I wouldn't mind submitting. Like I wouldn't mind submitting Golden Girls again. I have a Gem in the Hologram set that I finished that I think would be. But it's like so nostalgic and so girl heavy that I don't even if it got 10,000, which I don't think it would. I don't know if they'd ever make it because it's so like campy 80s. So I'm like I don't know. Like I have a few sets that I want to build for myself that I'm like that's what I do with Golden Girls. I'll build it for myself. If I love it, submit it, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not resting any like, oh my god, I have to build this for Lego ideas. Like, no, I'm just doing it for myself.
Yeah, for me, I think if I was going to put something on ideas, I'd have to be in that mindset where I'm ready to like hit the campaign trail again.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not. I maybe after this review period's over, like I said, we got a couple more weeks before we find out if Coraline's in it or not, and then maybe I can kind of reassess and start thinking of something new that I'm willing to do that for again.
Yeah.
Right.
It's emotionally exhausting.
It is. It is.
I thought about coming up with, and I'm going to say this out loud and it's going to sound insane, but I thought about coming up with 3 or 4 designs to post all around at the same time, or maybe to even post simultaneously, and push them all and see which sort of rose out of the pack, and then put all of my energy into promoting that one. But coming up with 3 or 4 ideas and the energy just to get it launched there was no way I was going to have the energy to do it.
It's so much work.
Yeah.
If you did something like that, though, you could put links in the description to all the other ones.
Right.
So that if one's more popular, you still might trickle down some votes to your other ones.
Yeah. I've discussed an idea with Boone and a few other people that I would like to do. It's time and energy to get it done. It's like he said, it's like so much work to do to get it even ready to submit. It's a lot of work.
Yep.
Luke said, what color do you use most in your builds? Do any of you have like a color?
Pink, the light pink. I use it more. I use that piece more than I use any other color because I do a lot of mosaics, and every skin tone has pink in it. Like no matter what color you are, it's got it. I use it more than any other color.
Yeah. I like. I've used a lot of blue and black and yellow. Black in a lot of like Batman stuff. I like yellow. Yellow is probably my favorite color. I think my favorite Lego color is the bright light orange, the Chima yellow.
Yeah, I love that one too.
And those are probably I really like sand green, but I don't use it a ton. I mean, I guess I kind of do. I like to use it, but those are mine.
I don't know. Everything I've built so far is so different. It's like a completely different color scheme.
Color palette.
Yeah, for each thing so far. So, I mean, blue is my favorite color, and it's my favorite Lego color because there's so many like beautiful Lego blues.
More shades than any other color.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I guess if I was going to build something that wasn't like based on it, because usually when I'm building something based on something, I just have to make it the color that it is, right? So, yeah, if I was just going to make something just based on color, I'd probably pick like an aqua, one of the aqua colors, and like a gold. The pearl gold is probably my favorite Lego color.
Yeah. Did anyone I put up this question earlier and we never answered it. What's your favorite movie of all time? Anyone? It's really hard for me to answer.
It's really difficult.
I love I don't know. Maybe Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, Batman 1989. There you go. Those are my top 3. I don't have a.
Those are some good ones.
Star Wars.
Star Wars, The Burbs, the Lego Movie,
Burbs.
the first one.
I can't say a favorite.
It feels really trite to say. I don't know that it's my favorite anymore, but my favorite movie for the longest time was Nightmare Before Christmas. So that's still a classic, and I still kind of sing the songs, and yeah.
Fazoom says.
Wait, I didn't answer real fast. I'm gonna say Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, Mary Poppins, Color Purple, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Wow, that's an array.
Those are like my favorite horror movie, my favorite children's movie, my favorite drama, and and Iron Giant makes me cry every time. Still, I cry every time.
Yeah, so, Iron Giant's definitely like in my top 5, and then Amelie is still one of my favorites.
Oh, Amelie! Oh,
yeah,
so that magical.
Yeah,
magic.
Yeah.
Aquamike is asking if I'm going to announce the next build challenge tonight, and I'm not quite ready. I have just a few things that need to come out in the next week that I need to do before I give a build challenge. But it's coming. It's coming very soon.
The build challenge is getting your ideas submission to 1,000.
No. Yeah. Maybe that's it.
School bus mods.
Yes.
JM Clams says Ferris Bueller. I love Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it is 8 p.m. where I am, and I need to go to bed. Not bed. I need to eat dinner.
Okay, I was going to say that doesn't sound right.
I'm starving.
I love Aubrey. She's got good taste.
What does Aubrey say?
She just said she liked all my picks, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
got good taste. Let's be friends.
I'm gonna get rid of this banner so that everyone can see Jake's face. I accidentally refreshed, so I don't think we're gonna see anything new here. I'm at 992.
Oh, come on. Come
Come
on.
on, 8 people. Come
8
on.
people. 8
Go there
people.
now. Do
You
it.
said you were going to stay.
Make up accounts for your kids. You
Call
can do that.
call a friend. Call a friend. Call your grandma. It's gonna take you 10 minutes to explain to her how to do it, but we've got 1 minute. And let's see. Should we refresh Jake's? We'll refresh Jake's. 3025. 3033.
Dang.
Wow.
Nice
This is
job.
going fast. 7 new likes.
There you go.
Thanks, everybody.
All I need is 8. I'm gonna go eat dinner. Maybe I'll come back out here later tonight and stream until it. Although by the time I'll go eat dinner and then come back and it'll be at 1002.
You're gonna miss it. It's gonna hit 1,000 before you even sit down.
I wish there was a 993. 993.
Come on, people, let's do this. Let's
All
do
we
it.
need-
Can't go anywhere.
All we need is 7 people. 7 people.
Come on.
Let me take a screenshot. Everybody look at the camera. Look at the camera here, and I'm gonna do a print screen. Sam, look at the camera. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna turn that into a little screen grab, and we're just gonna keep talking. You see any interesting questions in there? I'm gonna go put this on Facebook.
I mean,
see
I
if we
have a question. Is what's his name? Brent Waller? Is he still in the chat?
Brent Waller, are you still live with us?
I don't.
You have a question. That's reverse question time, where we ask questions to people in the chat.
I know. I'm curious. Like, I wonder if we've ever met though, because I see in his profile he's a 3D environment artist in the video game industry, and that's kind of we're kind of crossing the streams there. So I was just wondering if we'd met, and I didn't recall, or like where he's working or whatnot. And also pertinent question for Brent is, how do you do it? And we're talking about submitting 4 or 5 ideas at the same time and seeing which one, which one's the front runner. It seems like that's pretty much what he's up to.
Yeah. Is he responding to anything?
He says he's there.
Yeah, he's still there.
Brent Waller.
Australia.
Oh, Australia? I love
Yeah,
Australia.
no, I'm in
I wanna
Australia,
live
so
there.
I don't meet anyone. That's really sad. We have friends in Australia, though. There's people there.
I spent 3 months in Australia the year before last, in 2018, and 3 months in 2017. I want to live there so badly. I love it there. I've never felt more home than I did in Australia.
Yeah,
I'll come visit.
I
Brent.
definitely know some people in the industry down there in Australia.
And I'm friends with a lot of the Lego masters there now too. So like it'd be a nice I would love it.
He does say of the 3 that got to 10K, he's only had 1 approved so far. So there's that. It's not easy.
But he's got one what was his set that's actually made?
Wasn't it Ghostbusters? Was it Ghostbusters? No. Yes. What was it? Oh man.
Oh, I didn't know.
I don't.
Ghostbusters and Seinfeld?
Oh, did you Seinfeld?
Yeah, he did. I think he did Seinfeld.
No, but didn't he do Ghostbusters that made it to shelves?
Was it the Ghostbusters car?
The car.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Because he did the Stay Puft Marshmallow. Yeah, it was Ghostbusters. So he did Stay Puft Marshmallow Man too, which didn't get through, but that one made it to 10K too.
I'm a huge. Brent, do you know this about me, that I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan? I don't know if Brent. Before I was really tight with the lug, I used to go busting with the Portland Ghostbusters.
Oh my god! Oh, pull up Brent Waller's profile.
That is my
His ideas
my
profile.
homemade proton pack.
Oh yeah! Look at his dark crystal build.
Wait, can I say
Okay, hold on. I'll pull it up.
Sorry.
Tornado asked if just go to my website, samuelhatmaker.com. You'll see all my Appa stuff, and it has. I did a Legends of the Avatar because I did Korra and a bunch of characters from Korra too to go with it. So I was trying to do one big set with Korra and the original series.
Okay, Brent, I just supported your dark crystal.
Oh my gosh!
It's amazing. Look at this.
Oh, it's awesome. Oh, they're so precious. Sam, you're gonna love these figures.
I love it.
Oh, she's so gross. That's awesome.
I love it.
And
Look at that. Brent, you're a genius, man.
Yeah. It's
That
good
looks
stuff.
so
Look at
good.
that.
Look at
That's,
that.
Yeah.
that's perfect. Oh my gosh.
So good.
Brent. Oh my goodness. Look at this. All right. There we go. Go support this one too. The Dark Crystal. That's rad.
It's about to become the Brent Waller show, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Right.
What
Okay.
other ones does he got up there right now? How many's got up there?
I think
800.
oh, he's got a lot. These are
Yeah.
all Brent Waller. Holy
I want the
smokes.
Bonsai
X-Files,
Tree
too.
is. Damn, dude.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Stay Puffed, not approved.
Oh, yeah. I already
Seinfeld.
did that one.
X-Files, Seasons in Time. So he's got 2 in review, 1 that's been approved, and
Yep.
1 that's already hit
They have
shelf.
shelves.
Brent, man, you're an
All-star.
animal. You're an animal. All right, Brent. So we're gonna have you on the stream for a dedicated stream soon here, Brent. Okay.
I'll be
let's see.
for that one. I want to get to know
We got
Brent.
994. Okay. I'm going over to Facebook and I'm going to post this picture.
I'm trying to distract you long enough that when we get back, I thought it would be there.
Here we go. It's just that everyone watching live has already supported or isn't going to. Where did I put that? YouTube thumbs. Is that in here? Where did I save it? I don't know. I don't have any idea where I saved
I
it.
wonder if anyone in Sausage Leg hasn't voted yet.
6 more, Boone. 6 more.
6 more.
Ben, are you still there? Are you on that? Let's get all those guys.
All right. Here's what I'm writing the post right now. We're live streaming until we hit 1,000 supporters.
Come on, people. Just go vote so I can get off of this. No,
Follow the link.
That's what I said. I was like, vote if you haven't yet. I'm hungry and my dinner's getting cold. Although I'm totally joking. There's no dinner waiting for me. I'm pretty sure.
Oh no! What is going on?
I still need to make dinner.
Yeah.
Why is it doing that?
Right? Yeah.
Okay, here we go. You guys got to keep talking. I'm focusing on putting a
Well, I'm sharing
that.
this and stuff, man.
So
And then I'll go
classic
here.
Themes you'd like to see revisited ideas. Classic themes. They've already redone pirates now, so I'd like they might as well do castle like sometime
Right.
and
they already did the space. What's it called? The exosuit.
yeah,
for
the
classic
Exosuit had to
space.
be redone.
Exosuit. You're right. Yeah.
I'm adding it to Instagram.
Oh, I have this one while we were talking about.
Oh yeah. Yep. Me too. Mine's
have that one.
not still in the box though. I took mine out and built it.
I don't have any boxes.
built it,
I'm like, no. Then I build it and then I tear it apart. Like, but I just tore apart Apocalypseburg and mixed it with my pieces. And my friend
Nice.
was like, "What are you doing? Like, how can you tear that apart? Like I don't need it anymore. Like, I only built the only sets I keep together are my sets. Besides the haunted house and the merry-go-round, like that's it. Like everything else is torn apart. Like
Oh man. Yeah. No, I have a lot.
Yeah, I usually scrap stuff pretty quickly.
I don't have any space to display anything. I barely have enough space. I don't have half of my things I built myself displayed. So I don't have any room for us things other people built. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we bought another house.
Well, I wish I was that like that.
No, it's not. It's obviously not the reason we bought another house, but when we had to buy another house, that was definitely part of the criteria, is that we had enough. It was amazing actually. Our realtor must have thought we were nuts because my husband's a Star Wars collector, and then I've got the Lego collection, and we were trying to explain to her how we needed like a hobby house that had enough space for all of our things. Like we didn't care how big the kitchen was. We didn't care how big the bedrooms were. We were like, we just need like big open rooms.
Dude, yeah,
Yeah.
we need extra dens, lots of dens.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna refresh the 1950s Murray Torpedo Roadmaster pedal car. 3033. Is that how you would say that number? 3033. Going up to
Yeah.
3035.
Yay.
The Magic School Bus. We've already seen 994, but that was in another browser window. I'm going to refresh here to 995.
Come on, people, 5 more. You
right.
have to have some fun.
You know what? I'm going to retract my vote just to make Boone crazy.
Oh, can you do that? Are there people doing that?
No.
Are there people doing that to mess with us right now? Wouldn't that be terrible? Let's see. Do I have any? Am I getting any action on Instagram? Instagram. This must be this. I have 14 likes on Instagram. On Facebook, I've got. Let's see. Interesting. My high school. What is it? My high school like student government teacher just shared and said he only needs 5 more.
Nice.
I don't think she realizes that I only need 5 more to hit 1/10 of the entire goal. But it's tonight's goal. Tonight's goal is the 1,000. Hey, Daniel Zipadelli says he was number 996. I'm refreshing. We're up to 997.
Oh,
3 more.
Nice.
I just told
3 more.
Dignan says he has to go, but I told him to go tell his dad to vote. So maybe that'll be 1 more.
All right. Here we go. Fazoom says 3 more. We're in it for the 1,000 tonight. We're pushing it to 1,000. We only need 3 more. Jeff McElwee on Facebook said, hey guys, my buddy Boone need like 8 more votes to hit the 1,000 mark for his Lego Ideas build. And he also links the 1950s Murray Torpedo Roadmaster pedal car from the one and only Jake Sadovich.
Thanks, man.
Mark Cashmere said, more of a Reading Rainbow kid, but supported. Absolutely,
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I definitely Reading Rainbow was more in. Oh man, the episode where LeVar goes to the set of where he goes to the set of Star Trek. That was my favorite episode of Reading Rainbow of all time. It was unbelievable. It was my first. As a very small child, my first. Well, maybe not a very small child, but it was my first exposition to the crossover. As it were.
Now I need you to do the Reading Rainbow jingle.
Butterfly in the sky. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
If we get to 1,000, I'll finish the Reading Rainbow jingle. I can't do the Magic School Bus jingle yet because that is. I'm holding out. Oh, there it is.
Yay!
Oh, yeah.
Yay!
Nice.
Congratulations.
I can go twice as high. So take a look. It's in a book, The Reading Rainbow. I started it too high. Can go anywhere. Friends to know and ways to grow on Reading Rainbow. I can be anything. So take a look. It's in a book on Reading Rainbow. Reading Rainbow. Okay, there you go.
Yay!
Thank you so much, everybody.
Yay.
Thanks, everybody. We're going to close this out. We'll leave the final. Looks like the final number tonight for the live stream is 1,001. We are 10% of the way to that 10,000, and it's been less than a week. I know
it's all uphill from here.
I know from Holly, and you can say that at every point of the stage, right? Like it'll only get harder and harder. It'll only get harder and harder.
Because we've already
thank you.
Our fans, and now you have to get people we don't know to actually
Exactly, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah. Now you're relying on all of your fans to share it.
All the fans have to share it. Yeah. If I said it before, if everyone who has already shared with 3 people.
It's 1,002.
I can't say it that way. If everyone who has already voted got 3 of their friends to vote, and each of those people got 3 of their friends to vote, we would already be done. Thank you all very much. That I can't tell you enough. Holly, thank you for coming. Good luck with your review.
I'm pulling for you because I understand this. That right here is like, oh god, the worst part. It's like
Yeah. Yeah, it's painful. It's painful.
Yeah, it's painful. I feel
I need
bad for
something good to happen in 2020.
it.
Yeah, it's been a awesome year. Jake, thank you so much for coming tonight, man. Good luck with your pedal car. It's beautiful.
It is so beautiful.
Thanks, man.
Sam, thank you very much. Look forward to seeing what you come up with next. Everybody,
Who knows?
if you're watching out there, what was that, Jake?
So go resubmit Golden Girls.
Yeah, there you go. Dave Morgan, Aqua Mike, Caitlin, Leah, JM Clam, Jeff McElwee, Melissa Mayette, Rick Brickham, Fazoom, Isaiah, Spot the Magic Ninja, Ali D, Bedside Table, and Joshua Zender. Everyone else who's been here, my lovely moderators, Dave, Moto, Perry, and Ben. Thank you so much. And now Jeff is a moderator. This has been a special look at Lego ideas here on AFOL Spotlight Live. Y'all stick around and we'll talk for just a second after the show ends.
Let's go! Time